Welcome to Recovery Recreation. I'm your host, Susie Lordy. I'm also the founder of a nonprofit 501c3 here in Massachusetts called 24 Hour Power, Inc. We do recovery graffiti all over Massachusetts. And the reason we even started this television series was because we'd be at an event somewhere and people would come up to us and say, there's nothing fun going on around here. Now we know that's not true, but we knew that we also better find some really cool things for people to do when they're trying to live a sober lifestyle, right? Because it's not all work and no play. So that's why we started this program. We've been doing, this is like our 9th episode so far. We'll bring you a story from anywhere from Fitchburg to Falmouth and anywhere in between. Fun things for you to do every single month in recovery here in the state of Massachusetts. And especially now, it's so important that we pay attention to doing something that, you know, can embrace what's going on during this new normal, okay? Because COVID-19, nobody expected this. Now we're all home, and that's how it's going to be for a while. So our last show, we were able to bring you some ideas right when this hit, you know, which was great. In the month of April, we were talking all about, you know, how to do a Zoom meeting and, you know, here's a walking club to join and all different things to just get us ready for the new normal. Well, now we've been in it for a little while and we still have a ways to go. So we're going to talk this time during this program about how to keep it going, how to have fun, how to do some cool art in recovery during COVID-19. And here with us today, first off, is a very good friend of mine, Erica. Erica is a mom in recovery, and I would like her to kind of just say hello, and then we're going to take it from there. Hi, Erica.
Hi, Susie.
What are some of the fun things you've been doing as a mom in recovery, stuck home with those 2 little ones?
Well, this certainly hasn't been the easiest adjustment for the 3 of us. First of all, being a single sober mom in recovery is hard enough, but art has been a huge, healthy coping skill for the 3 of us. It's relaxing, it calms your anxiety, it helps my son a lot with focusing, which is a big issue for him, and it helps me too to kind of ground and reset and then start over. My kitchen table was transformed. I just threw a tablecloth over it and it was transformed into an art station. There's paint, there's stencils, there's all types of different things, and I can just keep adding to it for the kids to just go there anytime they want to create. And I mean, when you're bored, what's better to do than create? When you're aggravated, what's better to do than create? And to give them that availability, right, like at any time they want, it's great. You know? Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, your kids are all stars on our. So the first event that we did during the lockdown was for Easter, the Remote Recovery Art Easter Egg Fest. And what we did was we showed up at a bunch of different homes and said, here you go, you know, you wanna do some eggs, and brought them some eggs in baggies with, you know, art supplies if they needed them. And then the only thing that we asked was, please take either a video or some pictures and send them back so we can share them as some way to stay connected. And Erica's kids, like I said, they hit a home run on Facebook with not only their pictures, but also their videos. So pretty cool stuff. And now we've got another one coming up.
We do. I'm so excited. And I have to say that this project lit a fire in my soul that since this journey in recovery for me, I've been like lacking that. I've been working really hard on myself, but I really like was trying to find something to fire me up, you know? And I haven't sewed since about 12 years. And sewing was a hobby of mine that my grandmother taught me how to sew, and I learned in school. And I lost my grandmother a few years back and didn't think I'd ever sew again. So when you brought this to life for me and dropped off your mom's sewing machine, I think it's great that we both have a special connection to this. When I turned that machine on and when I did the first stitching, it just lit something up inside me. And I'm like, she's back, you know,
Yeah.
she's here, she's going to do this. And it's for a good cause. I can't wait to like get the ball rolling.
The next project we're doing that she's talking about are masks. And the way that came up, which is wicked cool, was this lady contacted me out of the blue from Florida. And she saw a funny mask that I had posted online. She really needed a mask for a friend of hers that worked in a home with autistic children that are afraid of masks. And I said, sure. So we made one. And then I thought about it and I said, you know what? How many other kids and other people are going to be stuck wearing these masks forever and, you know, might be afraid of them? And we're going to make some masks. And those ones are going to be for a group home of kids west of Boston.
I mean, it's another coping skill, a healthy coping skill. And sewing is an art form. It relaxes you, it calms you down, just like painting would, just like coloring or writing. It really does. And then when I posted it on my Facebook that we were going to do this, so many people reached out to me and said, I'd love to learn how to do that. How great is that?
That's it,
you know?
Staying connected. And then I saw pictures of your kids with the sewing machine.
So I'm totally excited about that because my daughter really, I started to teach her a little bit, which is awesome. Great. And then my son, he's only 6. He wanted to do it too, so I let him try. Why not? It's a good thing we can do together. And that's what this COVID actually has forced us all to do, to sit with your most cherished loved ones and spend quality time together. And life outside of COVID was so busy for me, working my recovery, you know, doing their sports, their school. Sometimes there would go days by that we didn't sit with each other and do nothing or learn how to do something together, like sew, like
sure.
paint. We didn't have time. And that's why, like, I love my Moms in Recovery because we have the Zoom. I also joined a widows group called We Do Care, which is helping me cope with this short-term goals to be written down on a piece of paper that we can actually do during COVID. Like staying in your step work, put that on there. Call your sponsor a few times a week if you don't every day. Make sure you put that on there and post it somewhere in your house that you're gonna see it.
Like the fridge.
So, right, or you know, your bathroom mirror. Anywhere that you're gonna see it. We don't know what the future holds yet. We don't know when this is gonna be over. So to stay in today and to try to stay sober, put some short-term realistic goals on there.
Well, thank you, Erica. You're the best.
Thank you.
And like I said, we're hanging in there. We're doing some great work. Right now we're working on masks. Erica also participated in the Recovery Egg Fest, and that was a party too, and this will be no different. We'll just be helping more people with this one. And as soon as the masks are done, we'll distribute them and we'll have more videos going on. So stay tuned for that. But this is how you stay busy, stay connected, and stay doing fun stuff in recovery. You know, think of the people you'll meet doing projects like this. Like Erica was saying, people on the internet just saying, hey man, I'd like to learn how to do this. Probably people you don't talk to every day. So that's a neat way to keep more connections. Erica, I'm going to go on to my next interview. So right now I want to thank you so much for helping me with this.
Thank you.
Just for being such an awesome human, you know?
You too. Love you.
All right, and we'll be right back with Colleen Thompson, and we're going to talk about some of the events that she works on in recovery as well. All art related. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Recovery Recreation TV, how to do art during the COVID-19 crisis. And here with us now is Colleen Thompson, a master artist in recovery. Colleen, hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Great, thanks. And Colleen's worked with 24 Hour Power on a lot of art events in the past too, way before this thing went down. So we're lucky to collaborate with her, and we're keeping it right on now. So with that, I'm going to give you Colleen. Hey, Colleen, let's hear a little bit about you.
Oh, hi. All right. So I've been in recovery for going on 7 years in August. That'll be my 7-year anniversary. And art has become a really huge part of my life and a huge part of my recovery. for when I was younger, I always liked to doodle. I never really thought of myself as an artist. And when I got clean, I really jumped into the realm of wanting to be more of an artist. So I started painting, and I've done working with metals and working with woods and all kinds of realms of artwork, and how important it's been in my journey to connect with myself and the world around me. And I know I jumped in with Susie this past year because I was really drawn to giving back with artwork. Like, we've done some projects with kids, and that has been for me really enriching and really tapping children into that part of themselves to connect with their creativity, and really inspiring to see that and teach others how to create in a manner that they can look at something and go, oh my gosh, this came out beautiful.
Now, you know? Colleen is a blast. So let's go there. I mean, we went to a recovery high school in Plymouth, and Colleen shows up with her crystals, and she's got the canvases laid out on the tables, and these kids are drawn to her, man. They're like, wow, this lady's super cool, and look at what she's all about. And it's just the whole aura of who she is. That's who she is from the inside out. So she's a blast to work with on a lot of different levels. Just her energy that she brings to all the projects are phenomenal. But the coolest thing, honestly, is that when I think about it, now we're during COVID-19, right? And we're starting to make masks. So when I came to her and I said, hey, our next project is going to be this. And wouldn't you know, Colleen's like, yeah, I can sew. I'm like, what can't the woman do? So there you go. Now she's sewing.
So actually, this is the first time I've ever sewed in my life, but we had a sewing machine in my house. So I'm like, I'm going to learn this and I'm going to master it. And so I looked up a couple of YouTube videos and got the measurements for the basic mask that everybody's doing. And I started making my first one, and I'm like, oh no, I can't do the pleats right. So I got rid of that, and I tried another one, and I kind of incorporated my own style into it. We came up with being able to have detachable front plates for these for different places. So they're not completely finished yet. So here's like one of the Snoopy ones we did. So these can come off, and the masks can be washed, and they're really comfortable. They have over the ear ties to them, and it was a really fun project. Here's one, I don't have the Velcro on me yet, for the district's attorney's office. That's cool. And
these are great
for the sheriff's office. Yeah, so that was a really fun little project, and I got to learn a new skill, which is always a great time.
You know, the kids are gonna love those ones too, though, with the Snoopy on them and everything. See, and what I think is really cool is we have the mask. I love that it's a tie and not the elastic that'll hurt your ears either, right?
So they're very adjustable. Crow on the backs of the pads, hold them to the mask, and then these can come off and be sprayed with a disinfectant.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
So the artwork doesn't lose its integrity,
but
you can still stay safe with the masks being washed. And I mean, just making a ton of these now. For the first place, we're going to do these for a home for kids in Waltham. That's number one. Then, I mean, the sky's the limit. We're going to be making these, man, all over the place. And that's your daughter in the background, right?
Oh yeah, this is my daughter, Emily.
Hi. I'm working on a painting right now.
That's cool.
Oh yeah. So
there you go. See what I mean? Families in recovery. This is the best. This is what it's all about. And you know, Colleen, when this is all over and we're done with the masks, we get some really cool stuff to be doing outside again.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I really love that. The weather is going to be turning good, and you know, doing all this is so important right now during COVID. Like, it's really important to keep your time busy, to be creative, to tap into learning new things and doing new stuff, because really, like, those are all remedies for beating depression and stagnant in your home. And so I really encourage other people to jump on board, and if anyone's able to create masks, and you know, it's really good time to be doing something with your time that can give back to the community.
Beautiful. Colleen, it's always awesome talking to you.
You too.
Thank you so much for being on this show. And
Thank
you, believe me, you've helped a lot. And what I really like is you said you didn't know how to sew. You learned how to sew.
Yeah.
And making them. So there you go, everybody out there that thinks they can't sew these. Now we're going to tell you you can. And maybe Colleen will do a tutorial with you if you really
definitely.
You know, so that's cool. All right, thanks again.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Emily.
Yeah. You too. Everybody stay safe.
We will we'll connect soon with the masks.
All right, awesome. Have a great day.
Awesome. We'll be right back with more Recovery Recreation TV. Just a minute. Thanks. This has been a great show so far. Let's see, we've been talking about all kinds of things that we can do during COVID-19 that have to do with art. Art and recovery is so huge. I mean, we talked about what we're doing for Easter eggs and how we kept everybody together for that. Then we went on to talk about the mask project, and that's ongoing, man, and that's going to be great. You can get involved in any of those. And now we get to wrap with a really cool grand finale, I gotta say. Joining us right now is Christian Arthur. Christian, so nice to see you.
Hey, Susie. Great to be here. Great to be on the show. Just stoked about art and recovery, so this is a great time.
Yeah, and Christian is very well versed in recovery and in what we're doing here because he's a graduate student at Boston University, and his background is in organizing a lot of art community events, which is right up our alley and what we're trying to do. So, Christian, a little background on you now. What's your story? Are you in recovery like us, or?
Yeah, so I'm coming up on 4 years now. Woo! It's kind of hard to believe. It always feels like it's been so long, but it hasn't. But yeah, it's been 4 years. Yeah, so I mean, I struggled with substances throughout my teenage years. It was kind of like a slow burn type of thing until some events started to impact my life a lot more. So I dropped out of college. In the first semester, I ended up in the hospital. Yeah, just generally was like in a pretty struggling for a couple of years, basically through the first half of my young adulthood. But eventually I ended up going to college. Still some pitfalls there along the way. It wasn't like everything was fine, but eventually I think collegiate recovery was a big thing for me that helped me. The arts and recovery was a big thing for me, like creative writing. And then just generally trying to be active, right? Just having a recovery that was trying to help other people. Those are the things that really helped me. And here I am.
That's huge. That's what we always say. We say that's why the name of the show is Recovery Recreation.
Yeah. Because
we have to enjoy our new life, man.
Yeah.
And then the miracle happens. You know, yes. Once we embrace what we're doing, you know, the sky's the limit. It just goes to show. I mean, look at you from dropping out freshman year, and now you're in grad school at BU, no less. I mean, you know, that just doesn't happen on its own.
No. And
so now, what I'd really like to talk about is the project that we have going with you, because this is a very big deal for artists in recovery. Okay, we have the opportunity. 24-hour Power Inc. Artists in Recovery have the opportunity to work on some really cool murals for Lyme Recovery, and this is in Mattapan, and just to be able to give back to this particular place is huge and near and dear to my heart, because these guys, from the first 60 days when they go there, their staff has been so cool about bringing them down in the van to Braintree, to the Braintree Manor, when we bring recovery graffiti to traumatic brain injury residents there.
Awesome.
Recovery. And they help them, and they hold the pencil. I mean, when I tell you, you wouldn't even recognize. I mean, just the level of humbleness and willingness to help with us. It's phenomenal. So whenever there was an opportunity to do something at their facility, I was like, this is so God placed. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to say. So I'm extremely grateful on behalf of the artists, and from that, I'm going to let you take over, Christian. How did we even get this thing?
like talk to you about bringing you on board. You're like, wow, this is awesome. We're already doing this work with Wyman. So that was so cool. And I was just like a happy little thing that happened along the way. Wyman Recovery Home is a part of the city's treatment system. So there is a facility down in Mattapan, and in this case, Wyman is like it's like 60 days, so it's a kind of longer stay residential program. But in the same location, there's also Transitions, which is more of like a 30-day type program. And also kind of, there's another building which is like Entre Familia, and that's for families, and that's like a whole nother thing. Basically, it's a facility and it offers residential treatment for people in recovery, and it's run by the city. So that's the location. But in terms of how this happened, basically I started interning for the city of Boston, and they knew I had like a background in arts or organizing. So they were like, hey, we want to make these facilities even nicer. You have the background. And I was like, hey, I'm learning about this in school, like literally making mural projects. So like it worked out nicely. I learned about it, and then I tried to do it in the real world with you. So.
Yeah, and it's not just me. So the artists in recovery that I work with, they're doing the actual physical artwork with the spray paint and acrylics and stuff like that. But there's also another organization that's equally involved in this with us, right?
Yeah, and I'm really happy you brought that up, because there are so many different people involved in this, and trying to make it as community as possible. But so this particular org is called Writers Without Margins, and it's creative writing. And they go into recovery, like recovery spaces, like residential treatment, like Wyman. They go into jails. I think we're at the engagement center. They're basically just trying to reach people that don't otherwise get engaged in creative writing, and tell them like, hey, you know, your voice matters, and like let's give you a space to like articulate that. So a bunch of them are in recovery. A bunch of them are actually alumni of Wyman. So
wow.
Yeah, and that's why it's so meaningful that you have all these alumni or people in recovery involved in bringing this art to people in recovery. It's like a dream.
So one of the murals that we're doing right now is going to have a saying that was recommended by these writers, which is cool. So we're going to have our artists create the actual image for the mural, and then there's another artist in recovery that will do the graffiti style lettering for the quote that's going to be next to it. So this is like a family. I just love it. It's such a community get together, and everybody just kind of, let's put something positive. You get to picture what it's like for these guys too, right? I mean, they're in lockdown too, and lockdown there is a lot different than lockdown at home with, you know, cable TV and my dog Duke, and you know what I mean, going to the grocery store and stuff. There you don't have any meetings coming in there for you. And after you sent me the pictures of the sad walls in there, it's like, oh my Lord, I can't wait till we can make something cool. And the neat thing about it is that to be able to think out of the box and say, okay, well, with social distancing, how do you make murals for a place like this, right? So Christian and I got together and we were like, okay, we'll make the murals. I bought the canvas, right, to 24-hour power. We got the canvas, and I just started dropping them off at some of the artists' house yesterday. So, you know, someone in Braintree's got one, someone in Weymouth has one, someone in Rockland's going to be going there to do the fence down the road, and, you know, another one in Brockton. These are all artists in recovery. It's so freaking cool when you think about it, you know, and they're all going to be able to do their artwork remotely, and we'll bring it up to Wyman, and they can put it on the walls. Yeah. And when this is all said and done, Christian, hopefully we can have some little ceremony. That'd be
the product and the process are both really cool. So
I want to give a big shout out to Home Depot, because Home Depot right here in Rockland, that store man just donated 2 buckets of primer to help us do that fence, because that fence needs a little help before it gets painted on. So that was really, really kind of them to do that, because it's going to make a world of difference in how it's going to turn out. So
I just want to say thank you to the city of Boston for helping fund this program. They did a giant mural right outside their building in Albany Street, so they totally believe in how arts and recovery can, you know, work together. Thank you to them. Thank you to someone called the Activist Lab, and it's a Boston University School of Public Health center. And they basically provide grants to students who have projects and that want to take something they learn and do it in the real world. So both those people helped fund this project, and it wouldn't have been possible without them. And these artists in recovery wouldn't get paid for their art without them. And these folks in treatment wouldn't have this nice mural.
And this wouldn't happen without somebody like you, Christian, driving the bus.
Yeah.
Because you had to coordinate and bring it all together and make it happen, and then come back and say, okay, now we're on, you know? I mean...
You know, like, COVID-19 happened, and I was like, well, there goes like 4 months of like working towards this thing. But working with you, we found a way to make it happen. And I think it's just such a testament to, like, you can do community projects. You can do community art projects, even if we're not, it's a little bit different and it's a little bit more difficult, but we're doing it. So I think that's pretty exciting and surprising, you know?
Well, and you know, the thing is, we got to keep everybody's hopes up. Like, we can't be like, okay, you guys are shut off for 4 months from doing any art, because let's face it, I mean, 24-Hour Power's done 65 events in a year and a half. These guys are used to working. You know what I mean? And when all of a sudden it's like, there's no events going on, you know, we're not going to be outside doing this. We're not going to, you know, be at Buffalo Wild Wings once a month like we always are. We're not going to be at the VFW Hall once a month. We're not going to be at Braintree Manor once a month. What do I give them to do? You know what I mean? How do we keep them engaged and not lose hope in that there's still some cool stuff to do? So this is an absolute godsend, Christian. I got to tell you, we couldn't be any more pumped to do this. So thanks a million. Okay, and that's going to be a wrap for our discussion with Christian. It's also a wrap for this edition of Recovery Recreation, and this one focused on art during COVID-19. And as you can see, there's plenty of stuff still going on. So please, don't think you can't have fun sober. You just haven't hung out with us yet, right? So next time we will see you. And until then, stay safe. Peace out.